Let me paint the picture for you. 11 Toronto schools got bomb threats first thing this morning. Police rushed in, and by midday, they said there was no credible danger. We'll break down what happened and what it means.
I'm Leah.
And I'm Garrett.
Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett, here in Toronto. First up, bomb threat hoax disrupts Toronto schools, no credible danger found. Here's what we know. On March 23rd, the first day back from March break, 11 schools across the Toronto District School Board reported bomb threats. The first call came just after 8 a.m. at Mark Garneau Collegiate in East York, and that school was evacuated while police searched. Officers checked every location and reported no credible threat. Credible in this context just means a danger that's real and verified by evidence. Police say the threats look coordinated, meaning likely from the same source or plan, and the investigation is ongoing. The TDSB emailed students and families to keep them in the loop, emphasizing that safety is the priority even when a threat turns out to be a hoax. It was a chaotic start to the week for families.
Yeah, that hits different on a Monday morning. I'm relieved nothing dangerous was found, but honestly, I'm thinking about the psychological impact. Kids and staff starting their first day back, alarms going off, evacuations. Even when it's a hoax, the stress is real. If this all traces back to a single source, I hope they, nail it down quickly. Coordinated or not, you just can't mess with schools like that.
For real, and why would someone do this in the first place? We don't have that answer yet, but police are on it, and the board's communication helped calm the chaos a bit. It's a stark reminder that even non-credible threats can cause very real disruption.
All right, let's roll on. Next up, a North York shooting near Jane and Shepherd on Sunday night. Police responded to multiple gunshots before 10 p.m. and found a man with serious but non-life-threatening injuries. That means he's hurt badly but expected to survive. Officers say 3 male suspects, all dressed in black, took off on foot. Investigators say there's no ongoing threat to public safety, which usually signals they see it as an isolated incident. In plain terms, not random and not targeting the general public.
That's still scary for anyone living nearby. I mean, it can feel repetitive when we hear about these late-night incidents. Community awareness matters. If you live around Jane and Shepherd, you know the area is busy and people are out and about. Cooperation with police can help connect the dots faster. Even small details like the direction the suspects ran can be huge. Next up, Peel police bust a carjacking ring and recover about 800,000 Canadian dollars in luxury vehicles. Between January 18th and February 1st, a series of armed carjackings hit the GTA. Peel police launched an investigation they called Project Stratus. That's just the internal name for their operation. 6 people have been arrested and face about 30 charges, including robbery and laundering. Laundering is when someone tries to hide where stolen money or goods came from to make it look legitimate. Investigators found vehicles in storage lockers, an auto body shop, and even sea containers, with plans to resell or ship the cars overseas to Ghana. They also seized replica firearms. That means they look like real guns, but aren't lethal weapons, still terrifying in a robbery. Multiple agencies teamed up here. Peel Police worked with Toronto Police, the Ontario Provincial Police, and the Canada Border Services Agency. That kind of interagency collaboration just means sharing intel, people, and resources to move faster together. And here's a bright spot. Carjackings in the region are down 79% compared to last year.
That's a big swing in the right direction. The cross-agency teamwork really stands out. When local police are tied in with the OPP and CBSA, you can track vehicles and paperwork beyond city lines, and that's where a lot of these rings live, right? On the logistics side, seeing storage lockers and sea containers in the mix says this wasn't random, it was a system. Good to see it disrupted. Let's keep it moving. Pro-Palestinian protests have been banned from residential streets around Bathurst and Shepherd. Toronto police put out a directive, that's an official instruction, saying protests in those neighborhood streets are off limits for safety reasons. Lawful demonstrations can still happen on major roads. Context matters here. Tensions have been high since October 2023, and the city's seen troubling incidents, including anti-Semitic signs at demonstrations and gunfire at synagogues. Local councillor James Pasternak supports the ban in those residential areas. Some protesters, including a local organizer named Omar Abdullah, say this restricts their rights and sets a worrying precedent.
This is complicated. I get the safety concerns in tight residential pockets where tensions can escalate. That means emotions and conflict can rise quickly in close quarters. And I also hear protesters saying why this limit and why now. Focusing on residential streets is likely about reducing risk where people live, where kids walk to school, where, a small crowd can feel huge. Protecting free expression while keeping neighbors safe is a tough balance. I don't envy anyone making that call. Last up, on a more hopeful note, a revolutionary youth mental health program launched in Toronto with a donation of 40 million Canadian dollars. The Sick Kids Foundation announced a gift from the Labatt family to fund the Labatt Family Thriving Minds program. The idea is to improve access by offering outpatient services. That's care where kids and teens get support without being admitted to a hospital, and to speed up early interventions, which means helping sooner, ideally before a crisis. The program links Sick Kids, CAMH, which is the Center for Addiction and Mental Health, and the Gary Hurwitz Center for Community Mental Health, creating a coordinated network instead of separate silos. They're aiming to avoid long wait lists and cut down on ER visits. This comes after youth mental health has worsened since 2019, and a lot of young people who need help still don't seek it. One stat that stands out: less than half of students in grades 7 and 8 reported high mental health in a recent study. That's a serious signal.
I'm down for that kind of coordination. A single doorway into care, fewer repeats, faster responses. That's how you take pressure off families and off hospitals. 40 million Canadian dollars is a lot of fuel to build something that lasts. If we can catch problems early and keep kids in school, at home, and connected, that pays off for decades. That's a solid point of progress to end on today.
Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett here in Toronto. Have a great day and join us again tomorrow.